Alrighty, so today I'm going to be drawing with a Tombow 8900 pencil for the first time. This pack of Tombow 8900 pencils was purchased from the Pacific Mall in Toronto, Canada. And as a whole, I certainly am looking forward to drawing with one of these pencils right here for the first time in today's video. As according to the packaging of these pencils, these are some good pencils. Although, isn't that what every manufacturer wants you to believe? Doesn't every manufacturer want you to believe that their product is the best? Well, it does say that this product is pretty dang good on the packaging, but how good is it really? Well, I don't know, but I'm looking forward to finding out that is for sure. And there's no better way to find out just how good or just how bad a product is than to use it myself. And so as such, well, that's exactly what I'm doing in this video today. But before I go ahead and actually get to drawing with one of these pencils right here, I am first off going to go ahead and go over the packaging that these pencils come in. Then after that, I'm going to go ahead and get one of the pencils all out. I'm going to go ahead and sharpen one of the pencils. I'm going to go ahead and let you guys know what the pencils actually look like, what they feel like, and what the quality is like, and everything like that. And then after that, I'm going to go ahead and actually draw with a Tombow 8900 pencil for the first time. And then after that, I'm going to go ahead and give you guys my final thoughts on how these pencils are and give them a rating as well. But first off, as said, we gotta start with the packaging, which is both not unique and not special, and at the same time, classic. Like, this packaging, it's really nothing like insanely like unique or super eye-catching or just like good looking as a whole kind of thing. I mean, like, it's just a pretty basic design in my personal opinion, but at the same time it's got a sort of almost classic feel to it. I don't know if it's just the fact that there's just pencils, just 3 of them just right here kind of thing, or if it's just the color scheme used. I really think it might just be the green and black color scheme used that makes this packaging just look a little bit more classic than not, just a little bit more of a just classic look than not, in all honesty. It might just be the color scheme, frankly put, but as a whole, I don't feel that this packaging has a super unique or amazing look to it, but I do feel like it's got a very nice sort of, I think really the right way of putting it is, even though it's in plastic, it's still got sort of a retro classic look to it. I'm not exactly sure if that's really the right way of putting it, but either way, I do like the look of this packaging a little bit more so than it's definitely not like the greatest packaging in the world by any means, but it just looks decent and gets the job done, you know what I'm saying? Let's go ahead and start going over the details though. At the very top right here, we can see the plastic has very much a green background with a hole in the center, so you can just hang it up and everything like that kind of thing. Then below this green background, we just see a black background. And there's a little bit of a dragonfly in white right there. And then to the side of that, it just says Tombow right there. Under that, it just says pencil in Japanese. And then under that, it just says 3 8900 pencils, or sorry, I think it just says like 8900 pencil or pencil 8900 or something like that kind of thing in Japanese. Or sorry, actually, wait a minute. I did translate it before this video. And if I remember correctly, I think it actually says Tombow 8900 pencil. And then under that, it just says 3 pencils in the pack. And that's pretty much what it says right there. This is all in green on a white background, with this being all in black on a white background. Moving on to the rest of the packaging, it's all clear, and we can just see the pencils all through the packaging, just like that. At the very bottom, there's a pink hexagon with a white border, and just says B on it. That's, I guess, the weight of the lead or the density of the lead or something like that kind of thing. In green up here, in white, we can see there's some more Japanese text. If I remember correctly, it says something like really good writing pencil or something like that kind of thing. And I think it says something similar right here on this pink background with black text, although I can't remember exactly what all of this says, even though I did translate it right before this video, I'll be honest with y'all. But that's pretty much all that's going on with the front of the packaging. Really not too much, in all honesty, a much more basic look than not, if you ask me at least. Without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at the back of the packaging, which we can see is pretty much just informational. Just says pencil right there, and it just has something saying, I think it just says something like, this is a good pencil or something like that kind of thing. I can't remember exactly. Then after that, it just says like Tombow since 1945, or like Tombow 8900 since 1945 or something like that kind of thing. Just goes over a little bit of the history of the pencil and when it was introduced and whatnot. And after that, there's just some acknowledgments, some stuff saying don't use this pencil improperly, use it only for writing and drawing and whatnot. Then we just got the barcode right there and the actual product code, ACA-342DS. and it just tells you how to throw away this packaging right there. And then we just get some more informational stuff. Just says made in Vietnam. We just get the Tombow, sort of like location and phone number if you have any complaints and stuff like that kind of thing. And that's pretty much all that's going on with the packaging as a whole. Overall, it's not a bad look. It's a more classic look than not in my personal opinion. I don't mind this packaging. It is quite simple. It's not super unique, but I don't know. It's got a charm to it that I do like more so than not. Before I go ahead and get this packaging all opened up, and before I go ahead and get one of the pencils all out, I do first off want to go ahead and get myself a little bit of a screenshot. So let's go ahead and just do that real quick. Just try to see if I can get this a little bit of a screenshot, just like that kind of thing, just like that. Excuse me. Maybe go for one like that. And maybe just set it down just like that and go for one like that as well. All right, well, hopefully one of those will do for a screenshot. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get this pack of pencils all opened up. And let's go ahead and get one of the pencils all out and take a look at what the pencil actually looks like, what it feels like, what the quality is like, and everything like that. Before I go ahead and get it all sharpened, let's go ahead and first off start with the look of the pencil. So we can see the overall color used for this pencil is very much that of a dark, I'd have to say, forest green. And this pencil has gold and white accents on it. The dark sort of forest green is definitely a little bit of a different green than the green on the actual Tombow packaging itself, but it does still look quite good in my personal opinion. It's definitely a unique color for a pencil compared to the standard American yellow pencils, I'd have to say. We can see it just says since 1913 right there. I guess that's when Tombow as a brand was probably founded. Then after that, it just says high quality. Then there's a dragonfly logo, and then it just says Tombow-8900, and then it just says B right there. And I guess that's just the weight of the letter, the density of it, or whatever kind of thing. Moving the pencil around, we can see the barcode right there. So this pencil can be sold individually as well. And it just says the numbers for the barcode right there, 4901991600858. And it just says B once again right there. Then in white, it just says for general writing, B once again. And we get some numbers that are just pressed in the pencil. It just says K 1805 right there. And that's pretty much all that's going on with the look of the pencil as a whole. In my personal opinion, the green and the gold definitely give this a little bit more of a classic look than not. But once you turn it around and you see the barcode, you're like, maybe not as much of a classic look, but still not a bad look at all in my personal opinion. Now, this pencil, unlike most American sort of general writing pencils and school pencils and stuff like that kind of thing, this pencil does not have an eraser unlike those, which is definitely something that is different than I am used to. I'm used to seeing pencils that automatically come with erasers. This one does not. The only pencils in the United States that do not come with erasers really are like actual drawing pencils. But this, it lets you know, is not a drawing pencil. This is a pencil for general writing. This is I get the distinct impression, that it's a school pencil. It's a pencil meant for people in school or college or something like that kind of thing. It's not a drawing pencil. So that's definitely quite different. I guess they probably want you to buy their erasers as well, which I also have a pack of, but which I'm not going to be using today, as this review is not about the erasers, it's just about the pencil. But I do think that by not including an eraser, they're trying to get you to buy an eraser. But overall, seems like decent quality. Does it bend? Bends a little bit and stuff like that kind of thing. It's no biggie by any means, though I will acknowledge. It's just a pencil. It's just not any better or worse quality than a normal pencil that I'm used to. Just physically kind of thing. The overall color of the wood itself is normal, I guess. The lead itself looks normal, I guess. I think there's really only one more thing left for me to do, and that's to go ahead and actually sharpen this pencil. And it's for me to go ahead and actually get to drawing with this pencil. One thing I did forget to mention that I really should have mentioned is that, of course, this pen is a little bit of a hexagon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait. Yeah, 6 sides. 6 sides to this pencil, so it is a little bit of a hexagon. Just like normal sort of writing pencils from the United States as well. But without further ado, let's go ahead and take my eraser, which is actually not an eraser. Well, this is an eraser. It's got an eraser and it's a pencil sharpener at the same time. Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, it's a pencil sharpener that I borrowed. So I'm going to go ahead and now sharpen this pencil, and then after that, I'm going to go ahead and get to doodling, I think just a little bit more so than not. We got to go ahead and just sharpen this pencil up real quick. And I think just a little bit more. There we go. Just like that. Should be all good. That is quite pointy, if I do say so myself. Certainly no complaints on my behalf. Ah! Just kidding. I'm not going to stab myself with it. I know how bad that can hurt. But without further ado, let's go ahead and grab my Soho Urban Artist Sketchbook from off screen. Let's go and put it on screen. Go and open it up. And let's go ahead and flip to the nearest open page. And now that I'm on the nearest open page, let's go ahead and just start doodling with this pencil just a little bit more so than not. Let's go ahead and just do some lines and whatnot. So we can see that when you're just kind of pressing down medium-wise, it definitely is a little bit darker than not, but as you start pressing down a little bit lighter and a little bit lighter, it definitely goes lighter and whatnot. You can definitely use this for shading if you really want to. Let's try pressing down on it really hard. Oh yeah, when you're pressing down on it very hard, the lead itself is definitely a lot more dark than if you're not pressing down on it hard. That is for sure. So this pencil definitely does have a little bit of dynamicness to it. You can definitely use the pencil for really dark lines, some lighter lines. You can definitely do that if you really want to. I don't know if it's really the best pencil for that. I'm not really an expert on pencil and pencil density, graphite density, or weights or whatever kind of thing. I'm not really an expert on that sort of stuff. My focus is mainly on pens, even then I'm not really an expert. But I can say that this pencil, you don't just have to use it for general writing. You don't. You can also use this pencil for shading and drawing if you really want to. As with most pencils, I mean, like, you can use pretty much whatever pencil you want for whatever, in all honesty. You don't just have to use a pencil for writing. And this one you can use for drawing as well. It might not be as good as an actual drawing pencil for drawing, but you can use it if you want to. Let's go and actually try to write, though. This pencil says it's for general writing, so let's try to write with it. And let's just write Now, I will admit this pencil is kind of thin in my hand. It's a bit too thin for my hand personally. Like, it's most comfortable to draw with, definitely, but like trying to write and whatnot, it's just a bit too thin for me. But I get the distinct impression this is probably a pencil meant for school kid or something like that kind of thing. And this is just a normal size for a pencil anyway. Pencils in general are a bit too small for my hands. Maybe I've just gotten used to using pens, in all honesty, with thicker barrels or whatever, but this is a bit thin for me. But I'd have to say, writing wise, it does okay. I tried to do an okay symbol there, but I was like, I don't know how to draw this. But not too bad for writing. The lead itself definitely is not the densest. It's also not the least dense. So if you're writing a lot with this, if you're drawing a lot with this, I definitely have to say, do expect to need to sharpen it a lot more so than not. And it also become bent quite easily. So this is definitely a pencil that you're going to have to expect not to have a consistent line too much. There's some drawing pencils out there that do not really, they kind of stay this, you can kind of get the same sort of density from the pencil, like a decent amount of the time kind of thing. There's some drawing pencils like that from what I remember, but this pencil is not that pencil. You're going to get a different line density pretty much every time you put the pencil down on the paper, frankly put. So, overall, I'd have to say this pencil is probably best for writing, but definitely not bad for doing shading, detail work. I don't know about, but definitely not too bad for doing shading, if I do say so myself, because there is definitely a decent amount of dynamicness, and you can get the pencil to be quite light and also quite dark, if I do say so myself. But without further ado, let's go ahead and actually draw with the pencil rather than just doodle with it. And before I go ahead and get to drawing, I'm going to go ahead and sharpen it once again. Let's go ahead and just sharpen it just a little bit, not too much by any means. And let's go ahead and, I think, draw a little bit of a fish. So I'm going to go ahead and just start with the jaw. We can already see, started off quite thin, got a little bit thicker. I'm not pressing down super hard though, and the line is darker than not, which is something that I do like. Now, this is pretty normal for pencils, but one other thing I do like about this is that I can hold it kind of far back, which means that it makes it kind of easy to do like big swooping lines and whatnot. That's something I really like. You know, every time you set down the pencil, you get a little bit of a different line kind of thing, which can give your drawings, of course, a unique look. But if that's not what you want, that's not what you want. But that's pretty much the general sketch of the fish all done. Let's go ahead and now just do another layer. I'm just going to kind of darken everything up just a little bit. And I'm going to add a little bit of shading as well. And of course, as the pencil lead gets a little bit more flat on one side, it does get a little bit darker and it gets a little bit thicker and whatnot kind of thing. So you definitely need to rotate the pencil every once in a while if you're doing drawings like this. This is definitely not my preferred stationary object to draw with when it comes to drawing fish like this, but you know, it gives it a nice look. I don't mind it too much. Just not my preferred object. But one good thing about pencils that you can do a little bit of shading. It's just a little bit of shading, just like that kind of thing. And there we go. Just like that. And now I'm going to go and do another layer on all of the teeth. Alrighty. And I think that is the fish all done. Well, overall, how do I feel about the fish? Well, I think it's pretty good. It's definitely a little bit different than I normally draw fish, just because I normally draw fish with pens, and well, today I drew a fish with a pencil. So it's just a little bit different due to that, and also due to the fact that I could shade with this pen a little bit more so than not. As a whole, after actually having done a drawing, after having actually done a drawing with this pen, with this pencil, to say it correctly, I can definitely say you can use this pencil to shade with. It's not quite as easy to shade with as like some drawing pencils, which have softer leads, and it's not quite just as easy to do line work with as some drawing pencils with harder leads, but, you know, it's not bad. It's not really the best of any world for drawing, but it gets the job done perfectly fine if you're willing to work with it, frankly put. Overall, I think the Tombow 8900 is a pencil that is pretty good for general writing, and I think it is a pencil that is pretty good for just doodling and sketching with as well, if it's what you want to use at that point in time, rather than using some actual drawing pencils. You know, not a bad pencil at all, in my personal opinion, and definitely a pencil that I certainly wouldn't mind using in the future. Let me know in the comments down below if you guys have ever tried a Tombow 8900 before. Have you guys used one? Have you guys not? If you guys have used one, let me know y'all's thoughts on them, and let me know just what you guys think of them as a whole. And if you guys haven't used them, let me know in the comments down below not only what you guys think of the drawing, but also what you guys think of the pencil and just how it drew and everything like that kind of thing. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think of a Tombow 8900. Let me just put it that way. Thank you so much for watching my review of the Tombow 8900, though. Certainly hope you guys have enjoyed watching my review of it, and I certainly hope you guys have enjoyed just watching me draw with it for the first time. If you guys have enjoyed watching, of course, please make sure to like and subscribe for more content. I have my Instagram, my book, my merch, my P.O. Box, and my main channel all in the description down below. Go check it all out. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, y'all. Till the next one, well, stay safe in peace and have a great one. Yes, sir, you know what I'm saying?